Good evening, Professor. I have week 6. I went ahead and set up two triggers. One is a trigger platform that opens the door, and the other one is, per the rubric, when you get near the Weavelo, it launches the Weavelo up into the sky. Hit play. Okay, we'll go ahead and go near the one near the Weavelo for the weekly assignment. So he's hovering there. When you trigger a box, not on the Weavelo, it's a separate box, it launches the Weavelo up in the air, and then they'll come back down and rest. All right, the other one is step on the platform, door goes down, but when you come off the platform, door goes back up. Come over, you got to push a box or put an object, an actor, it could be any kind of actor, onto it. Need to get on a little bit better. That's good enough. Goes down. Nope, the Weavelo's just launched up in the air, and then we can go across. Easy enough. Looking at the blueprints, first we'll look at the door trigger. All right, so I set up two custom functions. Actually, I let's go to the door first. That's where I created the custom functions. Okay, so I made a switch activated and a switch deactivated. I went ahead and set the required number of triggers to be 1, and then I go ahead and do a check on how many have been activated. Okay, if the trigger and the pressure switch is equal to each other, it goes ahead and increments, which then sets the branch to true, and it'll go ahead and run the timeline, just a quick going downwards direction over 2 seconds, or yep, over 2 seconds. Output that door position as a Z location to the static mesh wall or door, could be either object, and we're just adjusting the relative location. That way we don't have to worry about where it is in the world, it's just worry about where it is in relation to itself. Okay, so we come over to the trigger. I went ahead and created a component that is linked to the wall. So when you come here to the landscape, okay, click on the trigger, you can see down here, you can actually eyedrop and then pick the door or object that you want to link it to. In this case, it's to the BP wall, which in this case is also a door for me. Okay, so once we get that linked, we can also pull off link door. We can pull the functions, switch activated, switch deactivated. When I do that, I'm going ahead and set my pad, the trigger pad, material like a green color when it's overlapped and a red color when it's not overlapped. Run that timeline of the pad actually going down slightly, and then I'm going to go ahead and run that into the relative location of the pad as well. So when you step on the pad goes down slightly, and then the wall, as long as it's activated uh, or overlapped, because it's an event actor begin overlap, not a collision box overlap in this case here. Um, so any object that overlaps it that does an overlap event um, toggled on, we'll go ahead and activate these switches here. And it'll make the door go down. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the other one. The other one is look at my Weblos real quick. All I did is I added a custom function, launch Weblos, to the cone. I just add an impulse for 5,000 in the Z vector velocity change. In the video that you showed me that one time where I couldn't get the meteor working, it's because I didn't have the velocity change checked. So I make sure I have that checked. And then I go here to my trigger of blueprint trigger Weblos. There's no static mesh in this one. It's just a collision box. In this one, I'm doing the collision box. I just want the player, third-person character, to activate it. I don't. Otherwise, before I had just actor. Well, the Weblos was actually launching itself by going into the box. So I limited to on component overlap of the box, third-person character. I link a Weblos the same way I linked the door on the other one by making a component of the Weblos, and I click on the eyedropper for the Weblos that I want, and then I call launch Weblos, which then launches the Weblos with an impulse. Let's see. So I have the trigger box, and then you can see down here, you can eyedrop and you can click on the Weblos that you want it to launch up in the air. So this one here is for the class requirement, and this one here with the door and the trigger is for fun. Something I just wanted to do to show, and I think a little bit better, but showing that you can use other objects, not just a player, to overlap. For how I lose it in the game, you've already seen my final project where when you do an overlap, it triggers the interface to come on or to go off. The interface interact interface where you press E to pick up the character. So I've already implemented it in my alpha phase, and you've already seen that in work. So didn't really need to cover a whole lot on that one. That should about wrap up this week, but I'll do one more check. Oh yeah, the commit. So first I made my trigger and door, merged it in, and then I added the Wevlos launch and trigger because I saw it was in the rubric that it had to launch something in the air. And then when you look up here, it says launch the Wevlos in the air. Let's see, where is it? Da-da. There we go. Ultra Revlos launch in the air when the player comes close to it. So I made sure that the other one did that also. Showed you my blueprints. We talked about them. Showed you the Bitbucket source or Bitbucket source control, and it's already implemented in my alpha project. That wraps it up. Thanks.